I may have a new nose, but I can always...
Shut up! Everybody is talking at the same time. Be quiet.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Rafael and I'm here to review part 2 of the reunion to the Real Housewives with giant 4x4 posters of New Jersey. We start the second part of the reunion right where we left off with Teresa agreeing with Jennifer and calling her own brother, Josephine, a little bitch girl. And Josephine, he has stormed away. He's in the back screaming, throwing a tantrum to the other husbands. Teresa's left her confused. Now, part of me, after thinking about it, part of me feels a little bit bad over Joe because, that is his sister. And if I was on TV and my sister was to call me a little bitch girl or agree with somebody else calling me names, yeah, it'll be hurtful and it'll be humiliating. And I'll be like, wow, I thought we were family. But then the other part of me is just like, well, Joe, you're also not innocent either. You also have called Teresa terrible names. Let's not forget what you called her at the very beginning when you and Melissa first got onto the show. You're not innocent either. And then the other part of me is also like, well, Joe, you also need your ego dropped a couple notches as well, because you think that this whole show revolves around you. You want to throw a tantrum every time you don't get camera time. You want to scream and get loud every time you don't get camera time, much like your sister. So both of you are just terrible for each other. Both of you just have a really toxic relationship. But regardless, he's in the back. He has locked himself away in the bathroom. He's throwing the tantrum in there. He's throwing out all the toilet paper. He's flushing it down the toilet, trying to clog the toilet. Teresa's left her so confused, and she's telling Andy, he's my baby brother. He's my baby brother. I didn't do anything to him. I was just saying that he's just a little bitch girl. He needs to stop being in women's business. Andy, he was actually sticking up for Josephine. And I'm like, okay, Andy, Josephine is not, he's cute, but he's not that cute for you to be defending. And Teresa's like, Andy, I didn't do anything. And Andy's just like, go check on him. Go check on him. Go check on him. I want to make this reunion maybe a part 4 reunion, but if he walks away, we're only going to get 3 parts. So can you please go walk and go take care of this? So Teresa's like, fine. I'll go if you raise my contract up a little bit. If you give me a raise, you will? Okay, good. So then Teresa gets up. She goes in the back. She's telling Joe, she's like, Joe, what is wrong here? What are you doing? Why are you throwing tantrums? Why are you acting like this? Joe is trying to plead his case to Teresa by telling her, Teresa, you just called me a little bitch girl. You're always trying to, call me names and agree with somebody who's coming after me. And I don't like that. I was just trying to defend my own wife. So Teresa's like, well, what you should have done is you should have defended me when this fucker right here. And she was talking about Margaret's husband, who is standing right next to him. I'm like, damn, Teresa, that was bold. She just called Joe B a fucker. And he's just standing there like, now, what did I do? That was all my wife. But I was here for it because I'm like, well, you and your wife want to be messy. So, why not? So she's telling Joe, she actually told Joe, why didn't you bash his head in? I'm like, damn, Teresa, why does Joe have to do all that? Bash his head in, damn. But, again, he's locked away in the bathroom. He's upset. Louis, he's coming out. All the other husbands are confused. Joe finally comes out and he's telling Louis, if you go out there, you better not even defend Teresa, because then you're going to be a little bitch too. And I'm like, now, Joe, please stop. You just feel terrible because you see that you're the only man on the show that's causing all the drama with the women, and all the other men, they all know their place. But Margaret and Melissa, they actually made a good point. They're like, well, is Louis not also a little bitch boy too? Because he kind of was involved in drama against Margaret when he told Margaret, what was that famous quote that he said? Oh, you wouldn't intimidate me on your best day or whatever. Yeah, they kind of have a point in a way. Yeah, if Joe's a little bitch, then maybe Louis a little bitch too. But then again, Louis wasn't going into it asking for anything. Margaret dragged him into this issue between him and Margaret, and she was the one being nosy. So I don't know. That could be up in the air. Do y'all think that Louis is also a little bitch girl too? What do y'all think? But then Andy, he's sitting down in his seat, and he's in between the wives. Jackie, she tries to take a shot at Jennifer, and she's trying to talk to her, and she's like, Jennifer, let's talk while Teresa's gone, because I'm kind of scared of her. So let's talk. I just feel like every time Teresa's not around you want to be my friend, and you always ask me about my Instagram, and you want to follow me back. But every time Teresa comes out, you unfollow me, and you unlike all my pictures. So what's that about? Andy, he just looks so annoyed because at this point they've been filming for hours, and he's just been having them squabble in his ears, and he's just like, oh my gosh, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premieres tomorrow. I still haven't even released the taglines. The trailer to the Real Housewives of Dubai is not here yet. I'm really stressed right now. So he gets up and he's like, you know what, fuck this. The main show is in the back, so all of y'all are boring, so I'm leaving. So he goes in the back. He's trying to calm Joe down, who is screaming at Louis and telling him, well, if you go out there with the rest of the women during this reunion, you're also going to be labeled a little bitch for defending your wife, Teresa. Teresa's trying to explain to him, look, he's defending me because of Margaret coming at me and our relationship and our love bubble. That's why. I mean, he's not doing this because he wants to be involved in women's business. So then Andy, he pops up. Andy's like, look, Joe, look, I know you want to, okay, just tell me what you want. So Joe is just like, Andy, look, the reason why I'm throwing this tantrum is because, well, honestly, I'm tired of being a friend of the show and being a husband of the show. I want to be in the intro. I want to be in the middle with Teresa and maybe move Melissa like further in the back. Like, I don't know, maybe give us something to hold in the intro, like a meatball or something. I just feel like we should revamp New Jersey and it should revolve around me. What do you think? Andy's just like, you must have lost your mind. That's not happening. But look, let me tell you something. So I was going to bring up these allegations on Louis, regardless whether it was Margaret who brought it up, whether it was Candace from Potomac who brought it up, whether it was Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City who brought it up, whether it was Dorinda from New York that brought it up, whether whoever brought it up, I was still gonna bring it up. And I'm like, Andy is fed up. He is tired of this. He's like, look, Teresa, can you please just apologize to him because we need ratings? And, you know, I don't know. I kind of want to see Joe back next season. I do like seeing him and his antics. So can you please just apologize? I'll be out there, okay? Like, make this pronto. Meanwhile, we see Melissa Lopez, a.k.a. Jennifer Lopez, a.k.a. Melissa Gorga. She's out there and she's just like, you know what? I'm tired of being on display. I'm going in the back. So she gets up and she walks over in the back. And I'm like, why is she walking in slow motion? She wanted to show off that outfit that she had on so badly. I mean, she looks good, so why not? So she goes in the back and she's telling Joe, look. Is the camera on me? Is the camera on me? I need camera time because my husband's hogging it. Put the camera on me. Are you ready? Okay. Look, I'm sick and tired of everybody here. This is pissing me off. Everybody fix this right away. You got the footage? Okay, I'm going back out to the reunion set. I'll be waiting for you out there. I'm like, Melissa, just go away. Go sit back down again. So Teresa, she's like,
listen, Joe, you're my baby brother. You're my baby brother. And I wouldn't disrespect you like that, you know? So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anything that I've said to you. Can you come back out there?
and then Joe, I'm just like, didn't he just promise us the last part of the reunion? Like, oh, I'm done with this, the 12 years, all of this. But no, he's just like, okay, I mean, I'll go back out there. I mean, fine. I'll renew my contract. Fine. I'll be back on next season. You got this. And I'm like, you see, like he just manipulated this whole entire situation just so he could get camera time, just so he could be in the spotlight. Everybody regroups back on the main stage of the reunion, and Dolores, I'm looking at her and she has her phone in her hand, right? And I'm like, okay, well, who is she on the phone with? We come to find out that it's Paulie, her new boyfriend, and I'm like, huh, suspicious. And part of me was just like, I smelled a stunt because part of me was just like, oh, so Dolores, you just so happened to be on the phone with your new boyfriend now in front of Andy at the reunion. He couldn't call you any other time. He just so happened to call you now. You know, it probably played out like this while Andy was in the back talking to Joe. Like, she probably called him like, okay, Paulie, wait, I think Andy's coming, so we have to act lovey-dovey. What do you mean you don't want to? You're gonna be my pretend boyfriend for next season. I need a fucking storyline, all right? If Melissa could fake it for all these years, I can too. So Andy's about to come. Oh, okay, he's coming. Act right. Oh, Paulie, you're so cute. you're so cute. Do you hear that, Andy? Yeah, say it louder so he could hear you. Yeah, he's so cute. He's so amazing. He's such a great man. And I'm like, oh, please, Dolores, put the phone away. And then of course Andy fell right into it because he directs his attention over to her and he's like, oh wait, who are you on the phone with? And then of course Dolores was like, gotcha. She's like, now let me reel Andy in. Let me reel him in. I got my storyline for next season secured. She's like, oh, it's Paulie. Do you want to talk to him? Do you want to talk to him? So Andy grabs the phone and Andy kind of hints at her coming back for next season full time because he was like, oh, I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm like, Well, I guess we're gonna get Dolores again instead of Jackie or anybody else on this show, but I guess Dolores is gonna come back. But I'm like, how convenient is that? But okay, so then Andy, he continues on with Dolores. He's like, so Dolores, tell me what's been going on with your mom right now. Like, is she okay? What's she been up to? Dolores is like, she's a little bit more independent. She's trying to be more independent. She's doing more things by herself. So she's okay. And then Andy, he's like, so what about Frank? What's that? Like, how's that situation going on? Because I mean, you're in a relationship now. So I mean, obviously you can't be with him. Dolores is like, well, you want to know something, Andy? I mean, Frank is actually living in my house with David, which is her ex. And I'm like, what? What kind of crazy plot twist is that? Like, part of me is also like, Frank, are you really trying to hold on to David or some type of relevancy on this show for like a storyline or also for camera time at this point? Because why are you doing that? Like, that is so strange. What do you two have in common? Like, oh, yeah, let's talk about my wife and like what we did. Oh, you talk about what you did with her as well. And then you two like share stories about her. Dolores is like, well, I mean, I couldn't really live with Frank anymore because obviously I have a new I have a new boyfriend and I'm madly in love with him, even though I don't really know his name. I think his name is Paulie. So I'm happy with that and everything's fine. And then Andy, he drops a bomb on us, which I already knew because somebody in my comments to one of my previous reviews had told me this, but Andy says, I found out that your ex David is actually dating Louis' ex. And I'm like, what? The plot thickens. I'm like, wait a minute. I might be here for Dolores coming back next season if it's under these circumstances. Now, Andy, if you're watching and you're listening, come over here, get a little closer so you can hear me out because I'm going to do a little bit of producing for you so that way you can have good ratings for next season. What you need to do is bring this ex that David is dating, who is also Louis' ex, bring her on the show and bring her along with David. That way it could cause tension between Dolores because you know Dolores is going to feel some type of way that that David has been ghosting her all season. Teresa is going to feel some type of way that one of her husband's ex is also on the show. And that way it could cause, new drama. But you insist on giving us Melissa and Joe every other season. So, I doubt you're going to listen to me either way. But, that's your idea right there. What do y'all think about it? I will be here for it. I'm interested to see where it goes. And then Margaret's already full of shit. She was just like, oh yeah, Paulie's a great guy. He's an amazing boyfriend to Dolores. He's such a great guy. And I'm like, sure, that's what you say now. And then next thing you know, we see the trailer for next season. And next thing you know, she's dragging Paulie all through the mud. And I will want to see Margaret versus Dolores. Like, I don't think Dolores will play nice with Margaret. I don't think Margaret has it in her to go at it with Dolores, but that'll be interesting to see. But Andy, again, I already painted the whole story out for you, so that's that. And then Teresa, Andy's just like, oh no, Teresa, you don't find it strange that, like Louis, your husband, he's like dating his ex is dating David now? You don't find that strange? And then Teresa was just like,
she's not technically his ex. She's just a guy. She's just a woman that, Louis stopped talking to 2 months prior.
and I'm like, so she's not an ex, but Louis stopped talking to her 2 months prior to their relationship. So, what do you call that? Ex, Teresa. I had promised everybody in the community tab on YouTube that I did an interview with Teresa back in 2014. It was like a 20-second interview, and I have the video. I found it. I'll post it after here. It was at one of her Fabellini events. Like, she was promoting her drink, and she was a fun time. We took pictures. I met Joe. I think I mentioned that before. I'll post pictures too. And I did this interview, and this interview was so fucking cringy. Like, it was so terrible. I remember asking her, well, you'll see it in the video, but I asked her, oh, so what do you think about your drink? And I'm like, looking back on it, I'm like, why would I ask that? Like, of course she's gonna say her drink is good. She's promoting it. She made this shit. So, of course, why is my dumbass asking her, oh, what do you think about your drink? And, of course, Teresa, you'll see in the video, Teresa's like, what do I think about it? What do you think about it? Like, I was a complete clown, but I'll put the video here. Teresa has a son-in-law. So how do you like your drink?
How do you like it?
I like it. Why did you name it?
I love Bellini. That is Bellini. And I really
I can't wait for the new season too.
Thank you.
Andy then talks about the kids. So then he moves on to Teresa, and he's like, so Teresa, I saw you and Gia celebrating her birthday together. What was that about? That was fun, right? Teresa's like, yeah, we had a good time. Everything was good. She wanted me to pay for everything. But of course, you give me a good Bravo check. So of course I said, okay, sure, I'll buy you whatever you want. Then Andy proceeds to ask, so the relationship that she had with Louis, I mean, at first she had her, she had her walls up against him because of all these allegations that were coming up. She was a little skeptical. What was that about? And Teresa's like, no, she never felt any type of way about Louis. She loved Louis all the time from the very beginning. I don't know what you're talking about. Andy was just like, oh, really? Roll the tapes. Because they flashed back to when Gia, word for word, came out of her mouth and she said, oh, I don't know, Mom. I really do think that, these allegations, they're a little bit concerning. And Teresa's like, oh, those allegations. It's probably because of Margaret. It's because Margaret put it out there and Margaret was just like, wow, 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 wow. I'm like, Teresa, you would literally just do anything to cover your ass. And even Andy was just like, well, I knew about the allegations before Margaret said anything about it on the show. And I'm pretty sure I did too. I'm pretty sure that everybody who watches the show knew about Louis' allegations prior to Margaret saying anything, because of course everybody dug up his information before the show even started. So I mean, Teresa, you could believe whatever you want. The next thing you know, Teresa's like, oh, well, that wouldn't happen if let me get up. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Fuck, how did that quote go? Me and Louis practiced this line last night over and over and over. Mirror, mirror on the wall. How was it? I wanna be where the people. No, that's the wrong Disney movie. That's Ariel. Let it go, let it go. No, that's the wrong Disney. That's Elsa. What Disney was it? Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Teresa. And I'm like, Teresa, sit down. Like, she is so cute. Andy then throws a complete curveball in the conversation and he asks Dolores, so Dolores, let's talk about the finger banging between you and Melissa. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. Like, the finger what? Between who and who? And Dolores, she was caught off guard too, because she was just like... Oh, Andy. And then Andy looks over at Melissa and he's like, so Melissa, have you ever been with a woman before? Melissa's like, no, I haven't. I've never have. And I'm like, Andy, did we have to have this conversation? And then the weird transition over to Jackie's eating disorder. I'm like, okay, so we go from finger banging over to eating disorder. Okay, so then he asks Jackie, so Jackie, speaking of, blowjobs or whatever, like, have you come around with that with Evan, your husband? And has that happened yet? She's like, oh, well, he's hoping that I give in to peer pressure eventually. And then Andy's just like, understood. Okay, so let's talk about your eating disorder. And I'm like, now, wait a minute, Andy. What's with these transitions? Like, no, we can't go from this to that to this. Like, no, we're not about to have like a wild conversation here and then just have a sentimental moment just 2 seconds later. But I mean, that's the flow of the show. So then Jackie, she gives us an update on that. She says she's a little bit more healthier. She's like, I'm pretty sure everybody could see it. I gained weight. Now, we seen it on Watch What Happens Live a couple of weeks ago. She did gain weight again. I'm happy to see that for her. I'm happy to see that she's on a better path to getting healthy. She said that she'd thrown away all her measuring spoons that she used to measure her food, her calories with. She starts crying and getting teary-eyed because she felt like it was embarrassing and it's a shame to act like that in front of the TV. That's what she said. She was like, I'm trying to like blow away the stigma of eating disorder. I don't want people to feel ashamed of this, that you can't get help. And like I said at the beginning of the season when we first found out, I'm pretty sure she's helping a lot of people through this who are watching this screen and watching this show and watching her journey. And they're like, well, you know what? She can get help. I can get help too. So like I've been saying all season, I'm proud to see Jackie taking the right steps to a better life. And then Andy's just like, so, I mean, first of all, let's talk about the body shaming that Teresa did to Margaret about, all her ass jiggling in her leggings and then the whole dinner situation. Like, oh yeah, we all know that Margaret's been eating dinner. And then Jennifer, she was quick to jump in. I mean, I'm telling you, Jennifer she came ready to fight because she was like, oh, no. Before that, Jackie, you said some things too on Twitter about me, I believe. And then they actually put the screenshot of Jackie's tweet that Jackie was actually getting dragged for this tweet like a couple of weeks ago, actually on Twitter. Like they were saying X, Y, and Z about her because I believe her tweet was, oh, if you got lipo every week or something, you wouldn't be fat. Something on the lines of that. And I feel like they kind of skated off that conversation way too easily because then I believe Margaret and Teresa started yelling at each other and we couldn't really hear Jackie's reply. So Jackie, you got safe with that because I did want to hear your response to that. I mean, her only response was, well, you were talking about me. So I'm like, well, okay, you can't say that somebody's body shaming now when you did it back to Jennifer trying to harm her or trying to hurt her feelings. feelings too, Jackie. So, I mean, okay. So then Teresa's like, oh, well, Margaret, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, if you took my comments like that, I was just saying that, you know, my leggings make everybody's ass jiggle. That's what I meant. I didn't mean that, you know, you had a flabby ass or anything. And by the dinner comment, yes, I'm sorry. If you feel some type of way about that, I'm sorry. And I actually respected Teresa for kind of apologizing. I mean, that's the closest to an apology we're going to get from Teresa, so kudos to her. Margaret, on the other hand, she wasn't taking that. She was like, no. I mean, that's not even an apology. You were body shaming me and saying this, and this about me, so no. And Teresa's like, look, you were trying to ruin my night, and Margaret did not let her finish the conversation. She was like, you ruined your night. And then they start going back and forth with each other. No, Margaret, you need to shut the fuck up. No, Teresa, you need to shut the fuck up. Well, guess what? I'm the queen of New Jersey. No, Teresa, I'm the queen of New Jersey. Andy then moves the conversation over to Jennifer, and he's like, so Jennifer, I'm single, but I'm still pretty from Austin, Texas, wants to know, do you think that you're sending out the wrong message to everybody by getting all of these surgeries on your body, on your face, on your nose? What do you think about that? And Jennifer's just like, well, I mean, after having kids, I can get my body done. I could get my breast done, my stomach done. My ass is fine. I like it. My nose, yeah, I had to touch it a little bit, but for the most part, I'm done. I don't think I have to touch my face or anything on my body anymore. And I'm just hoping that she's actually staying true to those words, because Jennifer is pretty. I feel like if she touches her face anymore, she'll end up messing herself up, because we all know the Housewives curse. You start off looking one way on your first season, and then by your 5th, 6th, 7th season, you look like a whole completely different person. So hopefully Jennifer stays the way she is now. She looks good. So then Andy, he's like, so let's talk about the affair that Bill had on you 10 years ago that Margaret brought up. How did it affect your children? How did they take it? And Jennifer's just like, well, I mean, my son, I mean, he didn't really want to talk about it. He was just like, oh, I mean, okay, it's fine. And then my daughters, they were just kind of like, oh, okay, I mean, fine. But they were kind of like shaken up a little bit. But once they realized like Jennifer was okay, they were kind of okay with it. But I can only imagine at their age, looking at their dad, and I know I mentioned this before, but looking at their dad like, wow, this man that I love, that I look up to, like he betrayed my mom in the horriblest way. And now I have to like love him and look up to him. Like I can only imagine how that must feel. Andy continues on by telling Jennifer, do you think that you and your mom are misdirecting your anger that you should be having to Bill for having this affair on you to Margaret instead? I mean, Margaret didn't do anything to you besides put it out there. Bill is the one who actually committed the cheating. Jennifer's just like, well, I mean, nobody would have found out if it wasn't for Margaret. Now, Margaret, her excuse is, well, everybody knew about it. Everybody knew when you were coming onto the show. There were whispers that, oh, this doctor's wife is coming onto the show, but the doctor is having an affair behind her back. And I, to this day, I still want to know who was the one who specifically told Margaret about the affair. I mean, Margaret must know everybody in New Jersey to find out that information, because how are you even connected to this hospital? Andy then brings up the housewife curse by saying, well, you do know, Jennifer, you shouldn't come on a reality show if you're trying to hide something or if you're trying to keep something a secret. Jennifer is just like, well, Andy, at first I did think about it. Me and Bill did talk about it. Like, what are we going to do if this gets out there? Bill, he actually wanted to deny this affair and say, well, no, let's just pretend like it never happened. Let's deny it, because that's what we usually do on these shows. And I'm like, oh, wow, like this is new information. I wonder how that would have turned out if they would have denied it. Bill, I don't think he's a good liar, so I'm pretty sure he probably would have got exposed. He probably would have made Jennifer look even worse by denying it, because I'm pretty sure the woman that he had the affair with, I'm pretty sure she would have talked and exposed him like, oh, wait a minute, you're lying, let me expose you. So I'm pretty sure that would have been the wrong route. Jennifer reassures Andy by telling him, well, at first I wasn't going to do the show, but after thinking about it, I wanted to do something for me, for myself, for Jennifer, not Jennifer and Bill, but for me. I knew there might have been consequences for my choices, for being on a show, a public platform, something that could expose the affair of my husband. But you know what? I took the chance with it, and it is what it is. Margaret, she said it out loud to everybody. I was mad at her. She said something about me. I said something about her. I forgave her. It is what it is. And honestly, I mean, kudos to Jennifer, because at least she can own it. I mean, yeah, at first she was trying to hide it in a way and trying to pretend like everything is perfect in her life. But I mean, we got over it, and now she could take ownership of it. Now, I mean, as long as there's no more skeletons in your closet, you and Bill should be good. Andy then moves the conversation over to Melissa, and he's like, so Melissa, I've been seeing on the blogs that you've been calling Jennifer phony this season, that she's been putting on for the cameras, that she hasn't really been real this season. And Jennifer, she joins the list of women bringing big ass posters to the reunions with Monique, Wendy, and Lisa Barlow. And she brings out these giant ass posters to prove her point, because she's like, look, Melissa, you started with me. You started with me, because Melissa, all of a sudden, she was this claiming victim. And she was like, well, I didn't do anything to her. She always comes at me. It's never my issue. I never did anything. And Jennifer was just like, hold that thought right there. And then she brings out these big ass poster with Melissa's Instagram on it. with a picture of her and Andy. And it was the picture from, I believe, last year or the year before that, the last reunion, where Melissa was being shady in the caption towards Jennifer. And Jennifer was like, look, you did this, you said this, you said this, you said this. And then this is what I replied to you and Joe. So this is my post. This is what I said. You see, Melissa, this is what I posted. Yes, I have the receipts here. This is my post, my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Jennifer. I forgot the rest of my last name, but yeah, this is me. Yeah, those are my nice earrings. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. But yeah, so this was me, Melissa. This was my reaction. So if it wasn't for your original post, I would have never posted what I said about you and Joe. And honestly, she makes a good point. But first of all, before we get to that, just like I said about Potomac when that reunion came around with Wendy and her big ass poster, who is printing all of this? What store do they all go to that they're just like, oh, can you just print out this Instagram page for me? Yeah, like it's a Melissa Gorga. You're a fan of the show? We'll take a picture after, but can you just print the whole entire thing and make it like a big 4x4, like the biggest size? Like, how much is that? That is too much effort, but I mean, it is what it is. Jennifer had a moment and she brought these posters. And Melissa, all of a sudden, now she makes no sense because she's like, well, I mean, that's just a social media word. That's how it goes. And I'm like, so if that's the way it goes, then why are you complaining in the first place, saying that you feel attacked? I'm not understanding, Melissa, like, where's the correlation? Because if you feel like a victim just a second ago, and now you're telling Jennifer, oh, this is just Instagram, that's the way it is. I mean, that's just the way we're supposed to be with each other. Why are you crying about it then? I mean, then just go say something shady back to Jennifer. I mean, again, if it wasn't for your original Instagram caption, Jennifer would have never said anything about Joe. So that was your own fault. Andy moves the conversation over to Margaret, and he's like, so Margaret, why are you calling Jennifer a hypocrite when you're the one that did the cheating in your relationship and Bill is the one that cheated on Jennifer? Margaret says that, well, it's not fair that me and Bill both committed the same act. We both cheated on our spouses. We're both the same thing. We're both the same person. Yet he gets a pass from Jennifer, but Jennifer has to call me a slut. She has to call me this, and I have to be dragged about it for doing the same thing that her husband did. And we all know, Margaret, that the answer to that is because Jennifer was projecting to you. Now, was it right? Probably not, but she was projecting to you because she saw you as the other woman in somebody else's relationship or marriage, and she knows how that feels, how that pain feels for another woman to be in her marriage as well. So that's why she was projecting her issues onto you. Andy finally calls out Margaret by saying, well, Margaret, you're always saying that Jennifer has to own what she says, but you're also saying mean things to her and hitting below the belt by saying, oh, her sister-in-law is a mail order bride, she's a concubine, etc., etc. And I'm like, oh, finally he asked the right questions. Margaret's like, oh, well, that was just an iconic line. I'm like, what, Margaret? No. Because see, this is what kills me about Margaret, Jackie, and Melissa, because let somebody say something back to them that is below the belt or that is mean or that is joking. All of a sudden they're like, no, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're out of a line. Like, you're doing way too much. You are way too mean for saying that about me. But let them make a joke and it's, oh yeah, it's an iconic line. What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, it was a joke. It was a joke. Jennifer's like, well, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. I didn't find it funny. If anything, I found that it was going to be offensive to my brother and his wife. And Margaret's just like, oh, okay, fine. And then Melissa, she was just like, you know what? I'm getting really... Make sure the cameras are on me. You two over here. Should I... Okay. I'm getting really, really, really tired. Like, what is me? Like, what? So it's okay to slut shame and to call each other this, and that, but mail order bride, that's too much. So what? Like, where is the line here? Like, I don't get it. And I'm like, Melissa, if I was you, I would stay out of it because your husband was just running away from the stage for being called a little bitch boy. So if I was you, I would just sit this one out because no. So then the conversation gets brought back to Jennifer. Andy's just like, so Jennifer, why are you constantly just blaming the other woman that Bill had this affair with instead of your own husband? And I'm like, why are we repeating this conversation? And then Margaret, something must have touched her nerves because she got so upset. I mean, her helmet that she had on her head almost flew away. She was so upset. She was like, yeah, why do you, Jennifer? You're always trying to destroy another woman's career. And I'm like, Margaret, no. I see what you're trying to go for, and I see the point that you're trying to make, but no, because both the mistress and Bill are both trash. I mean, unless the woman had no idea that Bill was married, maybe I'll give her like some leeway with that because she probably thought like, oh, okay, this man is single. We could do whatever. But if she did know that he was actually in fact married, then yeah, she's also trash too. And then she was so dramatic too. She was like, Andy, I forgave my husband because I love him. I don't love the other woman. I'm like, so dramatic. Like, stop with the soap opera. And they start going back and forth. Margaret continues throwing out these words saying, oh, you tried to destroy her career. You called her job to get her fired. Jennifer's like, and I'll do it again. Jennifer don't give a fuck. Margaret and Jennifer are screaming at each other. Margaret is trying to defend the mistress. She's also telling Jennifer, you made fun of my comment that I made years ago, which that comment that she made, I completely forgot, or it completely like went over my head that, oh, when I had sex with Joe for the first time, he had to take a shower so he wouldn't smell like me when he went back to his wife. I'm like, wait a minute, Margaret, like... Like, if that's what you call humor, that is what you call dark humor, because, I don't know, that was a little bit too much, but okay. So that's why Jennifer also threw that in her face. She's like, that's not funny. Like, you're poking fun of that. That triggers me. But eventually, they continue going back and forth. They were screaming at each other, just like part one. You couldn't hear anything. Andy, he was already getting fed up. Next thing you know, you see him getting up, and I'm like, Andy, what are you doing? Sit back down. What are you doing? And then he starts screaming. He's like, okay, enough. Everybody shut up. And I'm like, nope. See, now, if I was Teresa and all the rest of the women on stage, I would have been like, you know what? Let's put our differences to the side and let's jump him. Who is Andy to be telling anybody to shut up? If I was Teresa, I would have used one of those shut the fuck ups that she's been using on Margaret all this reunion and would have thrown it right back at him. I would have been like, you know what, Andy? You shut the fuck up. You know what? No, I'm filing a complaint to HR tonight because management shouldn't be doing this. And that was that, everybody. What did everybody think of part 2 of this reunion? I mean, we all saw that Jennifer came ready for this reunion with her 4x4 poster of Melissa's Instagram. And do you all think that Margaret had a point in defending Bill's mistress, saying, oh, you shouldn't try to mess up her life or her career or her job just because she was having an affair with your husband? She has kids, she has a family, she has her own life. What do y'all think on that? I mean, I don't know. That's a slippery slope. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. And are you also excited for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I will be reviewing that this season. I'm excited to see what they bring. But until then, let me know what you think about this reunion down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everybody. Mwah.